morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Honestly, I swear, every time I start talking, Ruffles is just tippy-tappy all over the floor. So apologies for that. Also, Big's looking super cute back here. But yeah, how are you all doing? Hope you're all well. I have got some like knitting admin things that I need to do today, and I thought it might be fun to kind of take you guys along. The main thing being, do you need a wee? You want to go too? Go on then, go for wheeze. Okay, the main thing not being my activities as a canine lavatory attendant. But yeah, the main thing being that I want to kind of go through my yarn stash with you guys. I realised I said I was going to do a full like yarn stash organisation video, but this, like, I tried to film that and it was really boring. I didn't realise that actually I had already pretty much organised all of my yarn stash when it was on the shelves in the office upstairs, and so it was essentially just take it off the shelves and put it into two different boxes, so that wasn't particularly interesting to watch. But I thought what I could do is kind of like go through some of the things in my stash that I desperately want to get used up this year and kind of show you what it's looking like, and talk through my aims with it. I don't know, I thought that might be interesting. More interesting than watching me move things from a shelf into a box anyway. But yeah, first I need to get some jumpers out to dry. I think, well, my weather app says that it's not going to start raining until like 3, so I think I might put one of them outside. I have this like pop-up drying mesh thing that allows like air to circulate much better. I do use it inside as well. I like prop it on top of the like folding area that I have, but it has a hook so I can put it on the washing line and then I just put the jumper on top of here. So I'm considering putting one of them outside. I think it's going to be fine. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on the weather. So we have some sun, but there is still a lot of cloud. So I don't know. I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it, I think. I'm filming this on a new camera. It's my first vlog filming on this camera, so hopefully it's all looking okay. But yeah, I washed my like favourite cable jumper, and oh my goodness, it was filthy. I think I have a clip of it in the bath in the filthy water, but oh no, it was just awful. I don't really know why I'm showing you because it was really that bad, but yeah, it just goes to show how dirty a knit can be but still look relatively clean. But yeah, that really needed a wash, and I feel like I need someone to remind me to wash that jumper more than like twice a year because I wear it literally every single day. But yeah, that one got washed. I also washed a jumper that I want to frog because I felt like it just needed a bit of a spruce. So yeah, let's get this out on the line and then hopefully it doesn't absolutely pour down, but knowing the UK, it probably will. Sawdust everywhere. Now that one is out drying, I'm going to keep an eye on the weather. Thankfully, my office has 3 windows, so I can kind of see from all angles what the weather is doing. There is like lovely blue sky out of that window, but then it's just very grey out the back. So we shall see. Hopefully it gets a little bit dry. It's definitely not warm enough. I feel like this is really on the wonk. Apologies. None of the windowsills in... That was useful, wasn't it? None of the windowsills in my house are level. So we shall just have to just deal with whatever we've got. But yeah, it's not dry jumper in one day outside weather, but it is so warm today compared to what we've had recently. I feel like we had a sudden flip. It was like freezing cold, like we had sleet, snow, all that kind of thing 1 minute, and now I'm saying it's warm. It's 11 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but yeah, it's 11 degrees Celsius. So it feels quite warm to me, but it's not tropical weather. So that jumper will probably still need to dry for a couple of days in here with the dehumidifier on the Aran. But any time outside is good time outside, and like hopefully the UV and everything in the sun being on it will help get rid of whatever lingering dirt is still left in it. But I do also have this jumper, which is lovingly wrapped up in this very soggy towel, that I need to put out to dry, but I'm gonna have to put this one on the blocking mats in here. And this is the one that I want to frog and re-knit. So let me get it on the mat and then we can kind of have a chat about why. So this is the jumper that was in with my other jumper when it was washing. This is the September sweater by Petite Knit, and it's an all over brioche drop shoulder with 1x1 rib, and it's got folded collar on it. And I knit this up in Sanders Garden Peer Gynt. I'm not sure what the colorway was, and drops kid silk in the color almond. And yeah, I don't wear it very often, and I have a very good reason for that. So the reason I don't wear it very often is because I find mohair so unbearable to wear. It makes me just want to tear my skin off. I'm not a fan. And so I want to frog this and re-knit it without the mohair with just the Peer Gynt. And I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to get gauge and everything fine. I'll need to do another swatch because I knit this fairly early on into my kind of like second wind of knitting. So I learnt to knit when I was about 8 from my grandma, and I knitted like on and off throughout my childhood. And then I really got back into knitting in my like late 20s, when my daughter was very, very young, and she is nearly 6 now. I was into crochet a lot throughout all of my 20s, and then I picked knitting back up in like a more serious way when I was about 25. And so yeah, I've been knitting ever since. But this was also my first brioche project, and I didn't really fully understand how brioche would behave in such a large garment because it's quite oversized, being a petite knit pattern. And so the problem I have, I don't know if I have any footage of me wearing this. I'll see if I can get some before I upload this video and put it in. But essentially the problem is that the sleeves are too short. And I mean, the sleeves are probably fine for most people, but for me, I find them too short. I like a longer sleeve, hence this. And the body is way too long, and it just feels very, very frumpy. And I think the combination of the long body and the short sleeves just makes it feel really unbalanced as well whilst I'm wearing it. So yeah, I wore this yesterday and I kind of thought, oh, maybe if I can wear it today and I like it, then I'll keep it as it is. And I just didn't. And so I'm going to frog it and I'm going to re-knit it. And I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest, because I love knitting brioche. So yeah, I am looking forward to being able to get this into my wardrobe. And I've been looking at the pattern, and I've been looking at a lot of other kind of like half Fishman rib or brioche patterns recently. And I keep coming back to this and thinking, you know what, I really like the colour of that. I really like the look of it. I like the fit of it. Apart from those two things, like the rest of the fit of the yoke and the fit of like the like width of the body, great. It's just the length of the body and the length of the sleeves. And yeah, so I think that I just want to obviously use what I have and just re-knit it without the mohair and with the sleeves and body being in the correct lengths. So yeah, that is my plan for that. And before we actually get into my yarn stash, there's a couple of other bits and bobs that I want to I consider them as being part of my stash. And they are all living in this basket. So these are a lot of jumpers, for goodness sake. So these are a lot of jumpers and things that I knit up for my daughter that don't fit her anymore. But the yarn is still perfectly usable because obviously she's so young. She doesn't end up getting like years and years of wear out of her jumpers. Quite a lot of these were worn for a good couple of years because I tend to knit things to be a little bit larger so that she will get more wear out of them. And yeah, she's now finally just grown out of them. So we have the Dot sweater by Pernille Larsen. This one is unfortunately just too short now, and also I think maybe a little bit tight on her, so this one needs to go. Unfortunately she didn't get a huge amount of wear out of this, but I was playing yarn chicken all the way through. But these are both sock yarns, so I think I can make myself and her and maybe even my husband some nice socks out of this yarn. So yeah, that one needs to go. And then we have a couple of petite knit patterns that I've knit her over the years. We have the Festival Sweater Junior, and also the Zipper Sweater Junior. This one I knit with mohair, and we've discovered that she is just not a fan of this drops mohair. She has got a scarf that's got mohair in it that she's wearing today that is the Fulcolana Tilia, but that's like a wool and mohair. It's not like a full silk mohair. It's like wool, silk and mohair. So yeah, I don't know. She really likes that, but this she finds very itchy. So I'm going to be frogging this and removing the mohair. And then I think I might knit something with these two together. I'm not sure. So yeah, those will be going back into my stash. And then there's this self-drafted jumper. This is Drops Daisy and a boucle from the Lonely Knitter. Just a little round yoke jumper. So that's going to be going back into my stash, and I should hopefully be able to knit her something out of these again. Maybe a hat and gloves and mittens set or something, or I don't know. And then this was I think this was the first thing that I knit her. No, it can't be. This was definitely the first fingering weight garment that I knit for her though. This is a really basic raglan. I think it was a drops pattern. I can't really remember. And this is a Regia sock yarn. It's like, well, no, it's like white with like little sort of birthday cake type speckles. Love this. I think I'm probably going to make some socks out of the yarn. And then we also have this one. This is the Sorrel Mini, but this is in a sock yarn as well. I accidentally put this through the washing machine, so it's a good thing it's a merino nylon, but it bled colour everywhere. So yeah, it's looking a bit faded now, but yeah. So those are things that will be going back into my stash. So like, I suppose they're like stash enhancement, but not really because I've already knit them once. So there's those. And then I also inherited some yarn recently from my grandma. She has a much larger stash than me, but obviously she's been knitting for a much longer time. So she gifted me some of this Mariner Hermitage DK. It's an acrylic yarn, but I'd been talking to her for a while about the fact that I wanted to knit something for my daughter that was going to be something that she could just wear in the garden whilst we're doing like really mucky gardening work, because she gets too hot in her coat. And I wanted something that I could just bung in the washing machine, but I didn't want a superwash wool because I don't know, I still don't feel right about putting them in the washing machine. I've never found one that like survives well in the washing machine. So I wanted something that was going to be in an acrylic that she could just chuck on whilst we're doing like wet play, or she's doing like actual gardening, digging around in the dirt and everything, that is just so easy to just bung in the washing machine. And she had some of this, and I thought, yes, it's variegated, so it's not gonna be, it's like showing too much dirt. It's an acrylic. And yeah, I just wanted something really quick and easy. So I have 3 balls of this, and I'm going to knit a cloud sweater by Petite Knit. I know lots of people have really like strong opinions on acrylic. Honestly, I think acrylic yarns have their place in the same way that all yarns have their place. And when you're knitting something for your kid that you want them to just not care about and just be able to wear to run around the garden and get absolutely filthy, I think having an acrylic jumper in their wardrobe is absolutely fine. Also, she does forest school. Now, I don't know what they do at forest school, but they come back filthy. Yeah, I want something that she can wear to forest school and just not really care about getting filthy, because I can just bung it in the washing machine. So yeah, I'm gonna do her a jumper in acrylic. And I did a swatch and it looks like this. And like I say, I'm going to do the cloud sweater by Petite Knit because I thought it's quick, it's easy, it has no real like finishings or anything, no fuss, it's basically just stockinette. So yeah, I'm going to do this for her so then she can have something that she really just does not care about. So those are the kind of stash enhancements that I've got to add to what I've got hanging about in here already. Oh, actually no, there's one more. I signed up for the February Tiny Scarf Club from Woolly Mammoth. So I signed up for her Patreon and I've just been loving her yarn recently and sort of everything that she does, all of her videos and all that kind of thing. And so I signed up for the February version because it was a single skein. I thought, you know, it's a pretty easy way to kind of try somebody's yarn. And also you get like the mystery yarn aspect as well. So this is the half DK and it's a 50% Jacob, 50% BFL. And it's all sourced and spun and made in the UK, which I thought was a really cool kind of USP. All of her stuff is very like ethically sourced and traceable and all that kind of thing, which I thought was a really nice, I just thought it was just really nice to be able to know where everything's coming from. So yeah, this is specifically dyed up to knit the Stay Toasty scarf by Kutova Kika. Obviously I have the Stay Extra Toasty scarf already, so it'd be nice to have a small version because as we can see, I'm kind of enjoying the small scarf. I also feel a bit like I'm in the Scouts because I knit this woggle to go on my new turtle dove shawl. And yeah, when my husband was like, what are you knitting? And I was like, oh, I'm knitting a woggle for my scarf. He was like, okay. So yeah, this was an ingenious idea. And I got it from the Pressed Flowers kerchief. But I made it up. I basically saw that one had one and thought actually that's a great idea and just made up my own to go on this, and it's doing a really good job because one thing that I do find with little scarves is that they're a little bit difficult to tie and keep done up, especially this one. This is an alpaca silk cashmere, so it's quite slippery. So yeah, loving that. Anyway, I have made a tea, so I'm going to drink that and get my yarn stash out, and I thought maybe we could go through it. I have no idea how long this vlog's going to be. I can see on the camera that I've already been chatting for like 12 minutes. So I'm sorry if I'm talking your ear off. Washing has been put on the line. All of the windows are now open and I've had my lunch and I'm on my second cup of tea. So all is good. I feel like such a British cliche in the fact that I've got all of my windows open and my washing out on the first like nice day of February that we've had in a very long time. But it needs must. We have been stuck in this weather system where it has basically just meant that it's just rained pretty much constantly for the past, well, I think we've not had a day where it hasn't rained in like the 24-hour period of that day all year, and we're like nearly in the end of February. So yeah, it's just been very, very wet. So I'm taking advantage of the semi-nice day. I am obviously also keeping an eye on the weather because I don't trust it. But yeah, So if it means that I'm a British cliche, I'm okay with that. Oh dear. Right. Should we go through my yarn stash? So this is what I've ended up with. I've got this top box, which is all of my sock yarn. It's not really, like, it's nowhere near full. I'm pretty sure that I could have fit all of my yarn stash into these 2 boxes. So this big one has got everything else that isn't sock yarn. So everything from like fingering weight to, I don't think I've got anything higher than Aran. So yeah, all of that is in the bottom box. Apologies for the mess. I've got these cushion covers that I got from IKEA years ago, which I hate. They're not aesthetically pleasing, but they do the job of like covering the chair, and I want to reupholster them, so they're in here for the moment. Anyway, that was a bit off subject. So yeah, this is all of my sock stash in this thin, long box. I got these from Dunelm. Why can't I open this? And yeah, I just wanted something that was going to be relatively airtight. I may go back in and put things in Ziploc bags, but I think this is just going to be a lot better. What have I knocked? A chess piece, of course, because who doesn't have little 3D printed chess pieces hanging about on their floor? Yeah, I may go back and put things in Ziploc bags, but I think I'm okay with this at the moment. It's a lot more airtight than than how it was being stored on the shelves. And actually it's a lot easier to kind of like see what I've got. So obviously everything is like in a single layer, and I can see everything, and I can pull it out and do a lot better, like see everything a lot better and make colour combinations a lot easier and everything like that. So this is everything I have stock wise. I don't actually have that much in the way of like full skeins. So full skeins are anything that's still got a label on. So I've got a couple of mini skeins that I think I got in a goodie bag from East Anglia. So I've got one from Blue Fern Yarns. This sort of bluish pink one is from Felt Fusion, and then I've got a couple from Castleview Yarns. These are really lovely. And then everything else has pretty much been worked up into something before, apart from this black skein of Drop Snored, which I got to make the I'm Batty socks. I'm Batty for Halloween socks. It's a pattern by Stone Knits. It's got bats on it. So yeah, I got this to make those, but I haven't made them yet, so I'll probably make them for this Halloween. And then I've got this sock set from Loom, which I think I want to do just like some sort of like crew socks, like a couple of stripes, maybe some ribbing, like maybe like a 3x1 or 5x1 or 4x2 rib, I don't know, down the sock. So that is what I'm going to do with that. This is beautiful. This is the Bookworm sock set. Absolutely lovely. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get some more yarn from Loom fairly soon, because I really, really enjoyed working it up, and I'm still working on my Kintra at the moment using their yarns. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely love the yarn. I have this thing of this ball of Cascade 220, which I haven't, it's a full skein. I have worked it up into a pair of socks, and then I frogged it halfway through. So I think I want to do the Barbara socks, or Ode to Barb. The cable and lace ones from Summer Lee that she redesigned a little while ago. I'll get a picture and I'll put it up here. So I think I want to do a pair of those in these. I really want a pair of red cabled socks. And then I've got this full skein of West Yorkshire Spinners. This is their Fairy Lights colourway. It's a sparkle. It's like a self-patterning sock yarn. And yeah, I'm going to make up some Christmas socks, maybe a pair for me and a pair for my daughter this year out of this. I did have every intention of doing it last year, but just didn't get around to it. And then I also have this Christmas skein, which is the Hollyberry Christmas colourway from West Yorkshire Spinners, which I'll probably make into a pair of Christmas socks for my husband. So yeah, other than that, everything else has been worked up into something at some point. And I've only got single layers. All of this is either BFL and nylon or merino and nylon. And then I have like one DK skein up here that's a DK weight sock yarn. And then, yeah, they're all just various colorways, lots of neons. But I like the fact that I've got all of these here that I can just pick from as and when I need to, when I want to do a pair of socks. I did weigh all of these and put them into a spreadsheet as well, so it'll be easier for me to see what I've got enough to make like a full pair out of. But yeah, not sure how much use that's going to be for me because I'm not that good at referencing it. I'm going to try and remember to, but I'm not amazing at things like that. And then I just got a couple of other things that I'm storing in here. So this felting kit from Felt Wildly that I also got in a goodie bag from East Anglia Yarn Festival. I really want to try this out. I just haven't had the time. So hopefully I can sit down and maybe do that at some point, maybe over the summer. And then I've got a little mitten kit. I think I want to make these up for my daughter's Christmas tree this year. I do still want to make some ornaments for that tree. I need to make 12 more. I was going to make one a month. I ran out of time in January. I might get some time in February. We shall see. And then this is all of my sock scraps. So I did put this in a Ziploc bag because otherwise they float around and they just get tangled. But this is everything that I have scrap wise. I think I might make some little dot socks by Summer Lee with some of my scraps. But I'm not sure what I'll do for the main colour yet. I don't know. It's great for colour work because sometimes you just need like 5 grams. So yeah, I'm going to hang on to these and I'll just work through them as and when. And then this is all of the... So this is still sock yarn. These were minis that I got in gnome kits from Giddy Yarns, and these are all on her sparkle base. Not that you can really see it through this little bag, but yeah, these are all for gnomes. I do want to knit up some more gnomes. I am unsure as to where I want to put them at the moment, which is why I haven't cast on anymore, but I really like them in the summer to knit on because they're not big and bulky like jumpers. So yeah, I'm sure there will be more gnomes coming to the channel at some point. But yeah, this is all of my sock stash. It's not that much. I mean, it's a fair bit, but I knit a lot of socks. So yeah, that is how that's living. And I'm much happier that it kind of is much more easy to see, because when it was on those shelves, I couldn't actually see what was in the bottom layer. And I think I just found it quite overwhelming looking at it, and it used to really annoy me that if I used to try and move it around, it used to fall off the shelves and everything. So this is a much easier way to like see what I've got and actually be able to like pick colour combinations and everything, like I said before. So yeah, very happy with how this is going at the moment. And I've already like found it much easier to pick out colourways and everything, like for my husband's Summer Meadows socks that I'm knitting at the moment. It was so easy to just grab a couple of colourways and like do a quick like black and white picture, see what they were looking like contrast wise and everything. And yeah, just so much happier with it. And I'm hoping it's going to kind of work a lot better for me in the long run as well. So yeah, this one, however, not quite so easy to see, but like I said, I did make a spreadsheet of everything to kind of see what I had. And actually, I think that did really help because I knit this scarf out of scraps. So this was out of the yarn that I used for my, what's it called? It's by Sari Nordland, Wood Anemone. So yeah, this is the leftover yarn from my Wood Anemone pullover, and like I say, I knit up the Turtle Dove shawl also by Sari Nordland, but I had to modify it because I didn't quite have enough yarn. And yeah, that spreadsheet was what kind of spurred me on to make this, because I then realised that I had enough to make a small scarf, and yeah, I knew exactly how much I had, and so what modifications I needed to do and everything. And yeah, it's really kind of helped me to understand what I've got in my stash and how I can then better use it to get it out of my stash. But yeah, this is where I keep everything that's not sock yarn. So let me spin you around and then you can see. Okay, so first up we have got a couple of projects that I haven't finished yet. So these, and that have just kind of fallen by the wayside. So these are a pair of sailor slippers. Now, I do think I will finish these. These were the pair that I started in Vlogmas, and obviously never finished them because I ran out of yarn. So this is where I am on one of them, and then the second one, I'm like here at the end of the toe. I do have some leftovers from my completed pair of sailor slippers that look like this. And I think I want to finish these as a spare pair because I wear these all day, every day when I'm in the house. So I put them on as soon as I get up in the morning, and I literally wear them until I leave the house, and then I come home and I put them straight back on again, and then I wear them for the rest of the day. So yeah, I have found them to be really, really useful. I didn't think I was going to like them as much as I do, but yeah, they have completely sold me. So I think I might finish these at some point and have them as a spare pair for if I need to wash my current pair or if I get a hole or anything. So yeah, need to finish these. And the other like half finished project I've got in here, you guys might remember, is my honey vest by Wool and Beyond that I was knitting up out of 2 skeins of Skein and the Stitches merino base, non-superwash 4-ply merino, and also a skein of Plutalope. I was knitting this when we got our puppy Biggs, and I quickly realised after we brought him home that having a skein of unspun to work from just wasn't going to be a good idea with a small puppy. And also honeycomb brioche was just not something I had the headspace for back then. So I'm hoping to pick this back up in the spring. I need to figure out where I am. I did try it on fairly recently, and actually it does fit quite nicely. But yeah, this is the back of it, and this is the front. I don't even think I'm at the point where I'm joining for the underarm. I don't really want to have to frog it because I don't want to have to frog the unspun. So hopefully I can figure out where I was. But yeah, this is definitely something that I want to get back to in the spring. I just need to sit down and figure out where I was. Everything else in here is either a partial skein or a full skein. Now I do have a couple of sweater quantities that I'm going to be using over the spring. Like I say, I tend to buy things for projects as I get the idea for the project. I don't tend to buy yarn just willy-nilly. I tend to have a project in mind, purchase the yarn, and then it'll sit in my stash until I get to that project, but it will become that project. So yeah, I have been buying some yarn recently for my spring making plans, which is a video that should hopefully be coming to you fairly soon. I always want to get it out on the 1st of March, but we shall see how quickly I can get it filmed and edited. But yeah, I have some sweater quantities of yarn like these are going to become a jumper in my spring making plans. So I won't give the game away and talk about that in this video because what's the point in repeating myself? So let me just get these out of here so we can then talk through everything else that I've got. So I did split this box into 2. So this side is everything that's not fingering weight, and this side is everything that is fingering weight. And I did it very jankily with this piece of cardboard because I thought then at least I can move it around as and when I up or down my stash, and I can have it in different places for when I have more of either side of the spectrum of yarn. But yeah, I don't have it organised into summer yarns and non-summer yarns and things like that because I don't tend to have a lot of variation. It's mostly winter yarns. I don't tend to knit a lot of summer garments, and if I do, then I buy the yarn, I use it up very quickly, and it doesn't sit in my stash for very long. So yeah, so majority of this side now that I've taken that one sweater quantity out is partial skeins, and that's something that I really want to work on this year, getting my partial skeins, the amount of them that I have down, because I am one of those people that I hate playing yarn chicken, and so I tend to end up with either a full skein or 3/4 of a skein left over from a project, and then it goes in my stash and I forget about it and I rarely use it. And that's something that I really want to work on this year because I want to obviously not have as many partial skeins in my stash. So I have, like, just off the top of here, I've got these, so a full skein and a little bit of Knitting for Olive heavy merino in pea shoots that I used in my, what is that thing called? Peatland sweater. So I've got this left over. I don't know what I would, if I had 2 skeins, I could probably make a hat or something, but I don't. I only have a skein and a bit. So this maybe will be something in colour work. I'm not sure. But yeah, I have these left over. I've got loads of Cascade 220, but I think I want to knit my daughter up a Holga cardigan or something like that is sort of somewhat resembles that, in like the way it uses the yarns, like with some stripes and with some solids and everything, because I have 2 of this pink in Cascade 220 and then I have 2 of the red. These are the same colours that I used for her stripe overload cardigan that I knit in December. So I have those, and then I also have a lighter pink and some white as well. So I thought, oh, if I don't drop them all over the place, I thought this colour palette might be a nice like Holga cardigan or something for her, because I'm sure there's enough there for that. And it's something that she'll wear at least, because she does love a pink and a red and a cream. So there's that. And then I've got, these are also left over from my Peatlands. I suppose I could do like a Peatland-esque hat, because I've got the pea shoots and then I've got these 2 left over. I could maybe do myself like a colourwork hat or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've got these. This is the Steadfast DK by Telling Yarns, and this is Rivenknit's Chimera DK in Rainforest. So I have those as well. And then I have a full like summer top quantity of Sanders Garn Tick Cleaner. I bought this to make a Montpellier top a good few years ago. I bought 2 lots. I bought a red and I bought this blue. And I just never got around to making up the blue. And I do like the red one that I have, but I do find it quite heavy. So I'm still undecided as to whether or not I actually want to knit up another Montpellier top or if I want to knit it into something else. I'm pretty sure that if I purchased a bit more, if I purchased a different colour, I could knit a like striped dress potentially. But yeah, I'm not sure. If you guys have got pattern recommendations for Sanders Garn Tick Cleaner, please do let me know, for like a sort of maybe spring summer garment, because I would like to get this out of my stash this year, because I do have a fair bit of it. I think I've got 7 skeins. That's 5. Yeah, I've got 7 skeins, and they're, is it like 70 odd meters or something? Where's the meterage? 60 meters per 50 grams. So yeah, I would like to get that out of my stash this year. What else have I got in here? Oh, I've got some Sanders Garn Cos that I actually frogged from my daughter's September sweater. I think I'm going to make her a cloud sweater with this, and then I've got these 2 drops air, so maybe some stripes. So yeah, I thought I could use the cloud sweater pattern to not only knit up that acrylic yarn that my grandma donated to me, but also one in a blown yarn as well, because she did absolutely love the September sweater that I knit up in this. It just got too small and she wasn't able to wear it anymore, which was a bit sad. But yeah, I thought I could do that, and then she would have a nice like light layer. She has quite a few jumpers in Drops Air and she wears them a lot, so I think it's maybe one of her preferred yarns. This is Filcolana Peruvian Highland Wool, and yeah, I think I would like to make this into a garment for myself. I have been after a red jumper or a red cardigan for a really long time. I kind of really want to re-knit this. This is jacket number 1 by My Favourite Things Knitwear, or maybe like is the jumper version the sweater number 18? I think it is. But yeah, I'd want to use this to make myself some kind of red jumper or red cardigan or something. But I am nervous about buying more of it. So this is the Christmas red colourway, and I absolutely love the colour. I think it suits me really well, but I'm worried because I bought this a long time ago. If I ordered more of it, would the dye lots be really, really different? in which case I wouldn't then be able to use them together very easily. I don't know. Has anyone bought 2 different dye lots of Phil Kalana Proof in Highland Wool in any colour, like good few years apart, and found that they match really well, or have they found that they are very different? Because it'd be really interesting to know before I like actually do start knitting. Maybe I should order 1 skein and see if it's really different to this, and then see if I can get more of that dye lot if it is the same. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've got a whole sweater quantity of this. Well, small child sweater quantity of this. So yeah, I've got that. And then this is BC Garn Loch Lomond. This is one of my absolute favourite yarns. These are left over from my West End sweater and also my older sweater. And I think I want to knit a Stornoway sweater by Cheryl Mokatari or Coco More Knitwear and use these as like the contrast stripes, but I would need to get hold of a like main colour, maybe a different colour of BC Garn Loch Lomond, because I think this would be an absolutely stunning sort of autumn winter jumper. And I have been living in my West End sweater, especially like when I go out and walk the dogs. It's just so easy to just chuck on. So yeah, I think I need another jumper in those colorways, but maybe with a different base color, because I've used this sand color as the base color, and I think maybe I want something, either something darker or more of a less pink neutral, because I don't know how well it's showing up, but this is very pink in person. So yeah, have an idea for those already. I just need to do a little bit of thinking about how to execute it. And then everything else I don't really have any ideas for. I've got quite a bit of this Worth Mills DK from Woolly Knit. It's discontinued yarn. I have nearly 400 grams, and I've also got some white as well. I don't know, I need to figure out something to do with this. I don't really like it next to skin. I don't know if maybe I should get some like fluffy alpaca or something to hold with it to soften it up a bit, but I do find it a little bit scratchy for my taste. I've got loads of this Drops Merino Extra Fine, which is a superwash merino. My daughter has started to learn to knit. I'm so excited about it, and so I think I'm going to give this to her for her to use. She's just knitting garter stitch flat, and this is like DK weight, just superwash merino. And I've started her on DK weight because I thought it grows fairly quickly, but it's not too bulky for her small hands. And the needles, I've been putting her on 4mm needles, and so they seem to like fit in her hands quite well, and she finds them quite easy to use. So I think I'm going to give this to her to make a little blanket for one of her doll's houses. Well, one of her doll's house residents. She only has one doll's house. But yeah, I think I'm going to give this to her for her to use up in there, because I think she'll really enjoy that. But yeah, everything else is just like single skeins, and I need to figure out what to do with it, but I'm not in any rush. So yeah, that is all of the like DK to Aran side. And then over this side in my fingering weight stash, I've got a couple of sweater quantities again. So I've got this Knitting for Olive Merino, which I'm going to hold. I'm going to do some colour work with this John Arbon Devonia 4-ply. So I'm going to be knitting up a jumper in these two. I'm so excited for this. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it because obviously I'm going to be talking about it in my spring making plans, and I don't want to be repeating myself. I was going to use this Rowan Valley tweed as the contrast in that, but I don't think I've got enough yardage in this. I bought this on sale for like £3 a skein, and I only have 5 of them, whereas I have 3 of the Devonia, and so I have more yardage in that than I have in this. I don't think I've got quite enough to knit up the size of the jumper that I want to knit up, so I'll need to figure out something else to do with this. I'm kind of considering maybe like a striped jumper with the blue Sunday that I've got left over from my Lily top, because because I think that could be quite nice. I really like the like brown and blue striped garments that you see, but these are both those, that'll be fingering weight, so I'll need to find a fingering weight garment. Or maybe I could use the like stripe jumper again, because that was quite successful, but I would want to knit a couple of sizes up so it was a bit more oversized. So yeah, got 5 skeins of that. And then these are woolly knit merino. I've got some beehive yarns. I'm going to make a cowl for my husband out of this at some point. I've been meaning to do it for absolutely ages, but I've just not got around to it. I've got this skein of king fibre dashing fingering. I bought this thinking it was sock yarn, and it's not. It's just 100% merino, and I don't feel confident using it in socks. So I think I might do something for my daughter with it. Either order another skein and alternate them, or maybe do something with colour work or stripes or something for her. I don't know. She's running out of fingering weight jumpers, so I feel like something striped and fingering weight will probably work really well. And stripes do work wonders to hide dirt. Not dirt, but like if she drops things down it or whatever. It's just, yeah. It works well for kids knits anyway. And then, yeah, I've just got a few like random bits and bobs in here. I've got leftovers from my husband's fingering weight colour tip tees that I've done for him. Oh, here's another one. These are from his most recent one. I need to leave these out actually, because I need to lengthen the sleeves on that jumper. So I can leave those over there so that it doesn't slip my mind. But then yeah, I've got some of this leftover mystery fingering weight natural fibre that I used for my Irene slipover. I think I want to knit a jumper version of those. I really love that slipover. I've been wearing it a lot recently, but I am starting to feel a little bit chilly on the old arms, so maybe a jumper version of that is somewhere in my future. I think it might actually be really cool to do that jumper, but instead of just doing it in one colour, doing the dip stitches in a different colour. I think that could be a really cool kind of variation. Maybe it's something that I need to sort of do some swatching and see if there's a way to do it without it being too tricky, or having too many ends or anything. I don't know. But that is pretty much my entire yarn stash, apart from the things that I showed you earlier that I want to frog to put the yarn back into my stash. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've probably chatted on long enough. I might get some clips from the end of the day, but if I don't speak to you again, then thank you very much for hanging out with me today whilst I just waffle on and do a few yarny admin bits and bobs. And yeah, I will catch up with you all probably in another podcast.